Enhancements to ensure better email deliverability in Zoho CRM has been announced. One enhancement in particular is going to make Zoho setup so much easier for everyone. Zoho CRM dashboard upgrades have been made, which will make interpreting reports even easier. And the Kanban update rampage continues in Zoho CRM to the activities module, making Zoho CRM more robust from a customization perspective. We'll be covering all of this and more of Zoho's newsworthy announcements. Now, I'm Drew Brockbank. I'm an official Zoho consulting partner, and I'm the owner of Brockbank Consulting. Zoho is changing fast and it's difficult to learn, so don't forget to like and subscribe for free elite Zoho training and helpful Zoho updates. It's even harder to get the most out of Zoho, so if you'd like to unlock Zoho's full potential for your business, book a free consultation and get the elite Zoho help that you will need. Enhancements to ensure better email deliverability in Zoho CRM. What does that actually mean for you? Well, Zoho has made a really neat update to Zoho CRM. Zoho CRM administrators no longer need to authenticate email sending domains that have already been authenticated in other Zoho products their organization uses. So if you're inside of Zoho campaigns and you set up a domain there, it will already be set up in Zoho CRM. That is really nice for you. One of the most annoying parts of Zoho One, which is many Zoho applications that are offered in a bundle so that you don't have to pay as much per application. What's really annoying about Zoho One is it makes you think that everything is set up and ready to go out of the box in all the applications. Zoho One leads you to believe that because it's called Zoho One, not Zoho Many. What you come to realize is you do have to set up each of these applications individually. So the more they can reduce the setup of individual applications and the more these applications talk together or talk with each other, it makes your life so much easier. So this is a neat update. It's so nice not to have to do the authentication and go into your DNS, add the DNS records, test them, add them wrong, realize you did it wrong. Then you have to wait like 48 hours for the DNS records to propagate. It's a huge headache. So this is a really neat update for anyone who has to initially set up Zoho and organizational domains. You set it up in one app, it will show up inside of Zoho CRM. Let's be more specific here because there's more details to this announcement. We've made Zoho CRM's SPF and DKIM records uniform and compatible with records other Zoho products use, which means authenticating your domains once from any Zoho product is sufficient to securely send emails from within Zoho CRM. This automatic identification of authenticated domains will occur every 48 hours. For domains authenticated outside of Zoho CRM in the middle of the 48-hour schedule, these domains will initially appear as non-authenticated, but will automatically update to authenticated within a maximum of 48 hours. This automatic process is available for Zoho CRM accounts that have initiated authentication for at least one email sending domain. Therefore, you need to initiate or complete the authentication of one domain via SPF or DKIM to automatically start identifying domains authenticated in other Zoho services. This part is a bit strange that you have to at least initiate the authentication of one email sending domain before you can take advantage of this new update. So a bit strange there, but overall it's really nice. Simplified email verification process when authenticating a domain. Okay, this is really nice. So basically what Zoho's doing is they're saying, hey, if you're already a user and we've already verified your email, which we need to do in order for you to become a user of Zoho, then you don't have to do another manual email verification inside of Zoho CRM. So this is really helpful in that it feels a bit redundant with the way that it currently works to have to manually email verify a domain. Because basically how it would work is if you were to go set up a domain inside of Zoho, you type in you type in an email with that domain in it. They would send you an email and say, hey, do you in fact want this request to go through? Because if they didn't do that, you could just say drew@nike.com and I could authenticate and use Nike's domain. So the first level of verification is an email with that domain that you're trying to authenticate inside of it. And then they send you an email, you verify, and then you put in your DNS records. So if you're already inside of Zoho and you've already had them send you an invitation to your inbox so that you could join Zoho, it makes sense that you wouldn't have to do that step again. So that's what they're saying here with simplified email verification process when authenticating a domain. Let's talk compliance with new email guidelines. Okay, so a couple months ago, Google and Yahoo made some announcements. So according to the new email guidelines for Google and Yahoo, DMARC is required for domains sending more than 5,000 emails per day. To ensure compliance and prevent potential email blocking, we are implementing the following changes. Okay, so just so you know, DMARC, SPF, and DKIM, you don't even need to know the particulars or the specifics for each of them. But the important thing for you to understand is if you have a GoDaddy, a domain host that you are using, you need to add records, usually they're TXT records, into your domain host. That way, your domain host knows where emails are going to be coming from, and they can it's kind of like a technical way of stamping approval for different applications to use your email en masse. Okay, so that's what DMARC, SPF, DKIM. It's for authorizing and then allowing you to send emails from different applications. Also, it allows you to improve your email deliverability. That way, when you send emails, they actually get to where they're going. They actually are delivered wherever you intend them to go. Okay, we are implementing the following changes. DMARC setup suggestion. When you are preparing to send mass emails, a suggestion will be displayed if your domain doesn't have DMARC set up. This proactive reminder helps you adhere to bulk email sender guidelines and avoid disruptions. DMARC tag. A DMARC tag will be displayed next to domains in the email authentication screen, making it easy to see at a glance which domains are compliant. Okay, so this new UI UX is so nice to be able to see at the for each email. Okay, we've got it verified authentication. So email verified, that's just going to happen automatically now. If you're already a user, you're not going to have to do another manual process for email verification. That's just the first layer of approval to use a domain inside of Zoho CRM. Authentication comes next. When you press validate records, it's going to pop up your DKIM and SPF records to add to your domain. Then you've got DMARC. This is the final record it's going to have you add, and that essentially allows you to send emails on a massive scale, 5,000 per day, without getting blocked. Email credibility dashboard. Domains without DMARC will be listed under recommendations in the email credibility dashboard. This feature helps you to quickly identify and address any compliance gaps to maintain your email credibility. One-click unsubscribe. Recipients must be able to easily opt out of your, and don't we just love this now, that inside of Zoho Mail, inside of Gmail, you can just click unsubscribe. You don't even have to go to the bottom, to the footer of the email and unsubscribe to these marketing mass emails. If you don't want it, you can just click unsubscribe. And because that is becoming the norm and the rule, recipients must be able to easily opt out of receiving your emails to reduce spam complaints against your email sending domain. We recommend making the unsubscribe option clearly visible within the email and allowing it to be completed in just a click. A list unsubscribe header will automatically be added to all mass emails and any emails with an unsubscribe link in the footer. Okay, that's added, by the way, if you're using Zoho campaigns or marketing automation. That is done for you automatically. This ensures that all promotional emails sent to Zoho from Zoho CRM accounts comply with RFC standards. As of June 1st, 2024, Google and Yahoo require one-click unsubscribe option for promotional emails. One quick note here. So we're talking about marketing communication. Okay, so you have transactional communication or sales communication. So if someone submits a form, a contact us form or discovery form, or they book a free consultation with you, whatever it might be for the initial sales contact, all the emails you send back and forth there, those are transactional emails. You don't have to worry about anything we just talked about for that. Well, except for the initial domain authentication, but nothing in terms of the unsubscribe. So you have your emails that you're sending for sales correspondence, and then you have your mass emails that you're sending through marketing automation tools. So you need to make sure you separate those two. What happens in Zoho CRM is purely transactional. You shouldn't be sending thousands and thousands of emails a day inside of Zoho CRM. It's actually built so that you won't do that. You can send 100 emails at a time, and then you can send 1,000 per day within Zoho CRM per user. That's why once you start to breach those limits, Zoho has created Zoho campaigns in Zoho marketing automation to allow you to send emails at scale. So just a quick note there for clarity. CRM dashboard upgrades, dashboard locking, display large numbers in shortened forms, and additional display of record count in KPIs. Okay, so CRM dashboard enhancements here. Who's this for? So it's available for new signups, for existing organizations, inside of Standard Professional, in all data centers, and available for Enterprise Edition in Australia, I think Japan, and Canada data centers. Cool. This is a phased release. Eventually, it will be available for all organizations in Standard Edition and above in all data centers. Alrighty. So here are the specifics of the updates. Shared dashboards can now be locked for increased security. Okay, so you create a dashboard inside of Zoho CRM on the homepage. You create a dashboard, or not on the homepage, in the dashboard section of Zoho CRM, you create a series of reports, you put them on one page. You can now allow other users to have access to that dashboard without allowing them to edit and screw up all your reports, right? So you might share it with someone. They're like, you know what? I don't like the way this looks. They might edit it thinking that it won't edit yours, which edits actually everybody's. So to avoid that situation, you are now able to lock it. Restrict specific dashboard privileges by locking it up. Okay, for instance, if a dashboard in CRM is utilized for tracking sales performance and informing decisions in weekly meetings, the regional sales director may wish to share it with sales managers without granting them editing capabilities. In such cases, the sales director can now lock the dashboard while sharing it with sales managers. It's crucial to note that only the dashboard creator and CRM admin can make changes to locked dashboards. They are the only ones with the ability to unlock the dashboard. Large numbers can be shown in a more user-friendly way. Okay, so you got 13 million here, and then you got this is kind of hard to interpret because the numbers are just so big. That's really the idea of this update. So now, instead of seeing all the digits, you can actually narrow it down into millions, billions, thousands. And what this will do is it will shorten the number. So you saw before, it's $13,806,816. Do you really need to see all this, or is it nice to just shorten it to 13.8? Well, Zoho has allowed you to do this. You can configure the system now to shorten the number, and so you just see 13.81 million. So this is a little easier to interpret. It's a little easier on your eyes. The less is more when it comes to reporting, and this certainly helps for interpreting data. Display the number of records along with the metrics in KPIs. Along with the metric in KPIs. You have the option to show record counts alongside the metrics in your KPI components. So here's an example. So you're reporting month over month, or in a little KPI widget, you want to show revenue this month. How much money have we made this month? Okay, well, in addition to the revenue count, you can also show the number of records. So for example, in this example, last month was $1 million. This month was $1,670,000. Well, it was both 20 deals. So the average deal value has increased. So enabling this new enhancement is helpful in that it lets you see not only how much revenue comes into play for a specific KPI or report, you can also see how many records are a part of that metric. So 20 deals made up $1,670,000 worth of revenue, and the month prior was the same. It was 20 records for 1 million. So that's helpful. Alrighty, let's move on to important changes to Kanban view for meetings, calls, tasks, and appointments module. If you don't know this, Zoho CRM is on a rampage in the greatest way possible for updating the Kanban views. And it used to be that you had one Kanban view that you could use for certain modules, and you could only build it on top of one pick list. Now it's much more robust. You are able to create multiple Kanban views per module, and you can build them on different stages or statuses. You have to build a Kanban view. If you don't know what a Kanban view is, it's basically a board where there's columns, and each record, instead of being like a row on a spreadsheet, it's a card on the board inside of a specific column. The idea of the Kanban view is to help you not just see your information, but see your information in relation to your processes. And because objectives drive processes, and processes drive requirements, and requirements drive the building of your system in Zoho, or at least that should be the logical order. Kanban views are helpful because they tie your data to your processes. So that's why it's helpful. This is why I love these updates that Zoho is making for Kanban views, because you want to be process oriented when inside of Zoho. It's not helpful for you as a user to jump into a system and just see everything in like it's a spreadsheet and like a list. That's nice when you're zooming in, but when you want to see at a high level, how are things moving from left to right, you need to use a Kanban view. That's the best way to do it. What's changing? Customization options for Kanban views. The new Kanban view for the activities module will offer customization options that were previously unavailable. In the current Kanban view, users can't modify the board's system-defined fields. Okay, so previously, you have these different system-defined fields, and you couldn't really mess around with those or change those up. Now you can choose in the new Kanban view exactly what fields are going to be displayed in the card view. I can tell you this is very helpful. If you really want to take advantage of the Kanban view, you want to see the information that is relevant to your role. Okay, deprecation of the current Kanban view. The current Kanban view for the activities module will be discontinued after July 22nd, 2024. After this date, the new Kanban view will be available in your organization. The next time you log into your account, you will be prompted to select a field to categorize the Kanban board, as shown in the video below. So I think this is a little weird. They should have just had it automatically on the tasks for the activities module, the task statuses, and instead of having you categorized by like they're making you do it manually. I think they could have automatically done this. I don't think it's super pertinent that they make you do it. But yeah, so they're deprecating this: customers, open deals, leads, contacts, others. Now it's up to you within every single activity module to determine what the Kanban view is going to be built on top of. Okay, so when you jump in, it's going to prompt you, if you use the Kanban view, to choose the field in which is going to be these different columns, right? Because these columns are built on a pick list or a drop-down set of options. So you build a Kanban view. So those are the new updates for Kanban inside of the activities module. Let's talk introducing bulk additions for subforms via lookup and subform permissions for Zoho CRM. This has already been announced, but I'm going to reiterate: bulk additions for subforms via lookup. So this is so helpful. When you go into a quote, you have the products that you're going to add to a quote. So you can send it over to someone so they can get an idea of what something's going to cost them. One of the major problems, though, is when you go into the quote here, you have to actually create each of these individually. So I'm going to play part of this video for you. We're just going to shut the music off here. And at this point, when you go to create when you go to add the new products or the products that you want to be a part of a new quote, then you go over to this add row option. Well, now there is this drop down right here. And this drop down will allow you to add multiple rows at the same time. So let's say you had 100 different products. If you're quoting lots of products per quote, you want the ability to add multiple products. So you can create a filter for the products, and then you can just go check, check, check on all these different products, and then you're good to go. So you can see 3 products selected, add values for selection, and you have to add how many or the quantity for each of the products. Once you select that, you go to assign, and then you'll see all of these populate automatically for you. This is really helpful. It is so annoying when you're inside of a CRM and you have to add each of these manually and then add it one row at a time to be able to do it at scale within the add multiple rows at the same time. That is just a really powerful feature. Let's talk subform permissions. Okay, so one of the other major updates here is now you can set permissions on a profile basis. So you can think of profiles in roles like this. Profiles is what you can do with the information you have access to, and it's partially what information you have access to. And then roles is what information is relevant to you based on your role. Therefore, roles is what information you have access to, and profiles is typically what you can do with the information, be it view, create, edit, delete the information that you do have access to. So it's one way to think about it. Subform permissions in portals. An update extends to the portals as well. So if you are using the Zoho CRM portal to give other people access to your system, businesses grant external access to modules to customers, partners, or vendors. Admins can easily add or modify subform permissions within portals, including enabling view, create, edit, and delete permissions for the subform. Alrighty, richer search experience in Zoho CRM with precise results, follow-up actions, and ASCII. So the idea behind this is, instead of just clicking on the search and having just one text that you can add here or one single line of text that you can add here, it's more dynamic. So it's going to pull up. It's going to have this this drop down of records that match. Then you can also do more advanced searches for hashtag record name, hashtag tags. So it's much more robust than it was. And then you have this module dropdown you can use as well. So you can narrow down the scope for more relevant results. There's quite a bit that goes into this. Another thing that you're going to see here is the ability to, once you're typing in, you can see that this is the previous interface, right? So it would just show the contact, the deal, anything that was associated with what you were typing in. Well, now what it's going to do is it's going to give you some information. It's going to give you their email, it's going to give you their phone number. It's not going to stop there. It gives you a quick action button to click so that you can immediately send an email to the person that you're searching, or you can give them a call. This is really helpful. It just makes your life so much easier. I'm big on convenience, especially in big, bulky systems that can get really robust like Zoho. It's nice to have these bells and whistles. It's going to make the end user experience so much easier. Sort and filter your results in advanced search. Filter the results, sort the results. Okay, when you go to advanced search, you will now have the ability to filter that down just like you do already inside of a list view within a module. But now it's not just in the list view in a module, it's in the search. So when you click enter, so if you are in this interface, right, you're searching for something, you're seeing the drop down. Well, if you click enter here, you're going to be taken to this interface, and then you will see the filter criteria section, which is great to be able to filter records, makes your life easier. Ask Zia within global search for computed results, custom views, reports, dashboards, and more. Ask Zia, our AI sales assistant, which is really just ChatGPT, white labeled as Zia. With I don't know, maybe that I spoke out of turn. Maybe Zoho's got something special going on, but Zia was essentially irrelevant before ChatGPT, in my opinion. And I really think most of the AI updates are overrated because they don't have much meat to them, and the actual use cases in which it becomes super useful to use AI. I think we have yet to see those come in. I think the AI updates they're trying, and there's some cool use cases, but most of it is just a lot of buzz. Ask Zia within global search. Okay, so you can go to Ask Zia at the bottom right hand corner of your screen. You can go to Ask Zia, and you can basically use ChatGPT within the context of your CRM. So you could say list the deals closing this month, and then you can see go to report page. Cool. Well, it's nice to use natural language to do that. I've gotten a lot of feedback from users that it's not up to snuff, and that when they have used it, doesn't really give anything substantial back. It's kind of like this joke we have for everyone's like, oh my gosh, like you do coding, right? I'm like, yeah, I know Delete SQL, whatever. SQL is not really a coding language, but people are like, well, aren't you scared that because of ChatGPT that's going to take everyone's jobs away, especially when it comes to coding? Because it can code. Do you know that? I'm like, yeah, I know that. But when you put in a prompt for code, it takes you 2 seconds to write the prompt. It takes you 5 hours to debug it, right? It's not ready to go out of the box. So that's how I imagine this is going to go as well. List the deals closing this month. This one's pretty specific, and I don't think it's a terribly complicated query, but I imagine more complex queries are not going to give you the output that you want. So for basic things, it's pretty neat. Now you can access it within global search by simply pressing the / in the search box and entering your query. That is pretty cool, I will say. Also, if you enable the hotkey inside of Zoho CRM, then you would just have to do / twice. And I highly recommend you use the hotkeys. It's just going to make you feel like a pro. And I mean, it really will make you a pro for navigating Zoho CRM. Suggestion for you, based on your usage of Zoho CRM, you'll get a set of suggested queries to help you get started. Cool. Okay, lots of updates here. Super nice to see routine messages in Explorer. You can even set routine messages in Explorer, how Zia found those results within global search itself. That is actually pretty neat to be able to do that. Okay, availability, global search enhancements, all data centers, all editions, all languages. It's really cool. As Zia in global search, editions, all data centers, except for, I think it's Japan and Canada. I think JP. Gosh, am I crazy, guys? If you know what JP is and it's not Japan, just let me know. Languages, English. Okay. Introducing formula fields for performing dynamic calculations. Greetings. Within the formula field, you can generate numerical calculations. Guys, it's numerical. This is for Zoho Bigin, by the way, not Zoho CRM. So this feature that has been available inside of Zoho CRM since the dawn of time is now available inside of Bigin. That feature is the ability to add formula fields. You may be thinking to yourself, well, that's a wonderful update. That should have been there from the get-go. Kind of strange. It's one of those things that you would have just expected to be there. I don't have a strong case for ever really going into Bigin, no matter what. I mean, the only thing I could possibly think of is you are a solopreneur, you want to stay that way, you never want to scale, and you just want the most simple system possible, which I would even argue if you're a solopreneur and you want to grow at all, you would start with a system that's more robust, such as Zoho CRM. It's even more robust than systems like Salesforce and HubSpot, have way more features and offer more for much less cost. Okay, so that's really the update here is now you have the ability to use formula fields. This is something most of you should be extremely familiar with if you have any experience at all inside of a CRM, but it just allows you to make calculations from a field. So the formula field allows you to do, you have different functions, different fields, different operators you can use to get the output in that field that you want based on the data inside of a particular record. Okay, this one's in Zoho Tables, introducing view share in Zoho Tables. Data plays a pivotal role in modern work. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go off on this one. So Zoho Tables, if you don't know, it's essentially like Monday.com. So it allows you to build your own tables and do whatever you want with that information. So it's basically a really prettied up spreadsheet that has some cool bells and whistles. So the idea behind this update with introducing view shares is there's different ways to view information in a table. You can think of it like a spreadsheet if you're not familiar. But the idea is that you have these different views, okay? So you can see, and this is really the advantage of a table or a database versus a spreadsheet, is you can create multiple views. Just like it's just like custom views. It's like sharing a custom view inside of Zoho CRM. That's really the bottom line for this update, is just in the same way you can create custom views inside of Zoho CRM, right? So you create a filter and you say, my open tasks, that's a custom view inside of Zoho CRM, or my leads, that's a custom view. You would be able to create your own custom view with the information that's unique to the table that you're creating. And then you could share that specific custom view with somebody, which is a nice update here. So you can see grid view. You don't have to just stop with a particular tabular view. You have different views that you can choose from here to share as well. Let me jump down here. Let me show you this. Skip it. Come on, where is it? Should do like this. Okay. So grid, gallery, Kanban. If you wanted to share one of these, you could share one of these views as well. So this is interesting. I think Zoho Tables is something to keep your eye on. I think it's one of those things you mess around with for a day and they're like, what am I going to do with this? And then you just go back to the CRM because all of your information lives there. But I want to be proved wrong. I'd love to see some strong use cases on the operations side of the house for using Zoho Tables. All right. I love seeing that they're giving Monday.com a run for their money. I just love how Zoho operates and gives so much away for so little. It's just such a massive advantage when it comes to small to medium-sized businesses and even enterprises that use Zoho against their competitors. They have to pay way less for way more. Automate ticket assignment to contact account owner using custom action. So basically what you can do now, so when a ticket comes in the door, if you're using Zoho Desk, this is Zoho Desk, by the way, when a ticket, which just represents a request or a question or concern that someone has, basically what you can do is when the ticket comes in the door, that's just the record for that question, comment, concern, request. You can automatically assign it now to the contact owner or account owner using custom action. Okay. So how does this work? Well, inside of Zoho Desk, if you get a ticket, it usually has an email. And if that email is associated to a contact in your CRM and you have those integrated, the ticket comes in, it can now look at the contact, and whoever owns the contact will then automatically own the ticket. Also, if the account owner, if there's no contact owner and there's an account owner, you can use a custom action to grab the account owner as well. So that's helpful. So what this actually looks like is when you go to set up a workflow rule for assign ticket, you can go to all actions, assign ticket, and then you have this option now in contact owner ID, which you can add to the assignee or the agent that will be taking care of the ticket, the person who is responsible for that particular request, comment, concern, whatever it might be, whatever the ticket might be. Okay, so that is the updates for this week as far as the newsworthy announcements that Zoho has made. I include other announcements as well as a part of my weekly newsletter. So if you want to get those, go ahead and subscribe. The way you can subscribe is actually by getting Z Training. You can go to my website I have Z Training linked in the description below. Go ahead and click on it and get your own copy of Z Training so that you can access elite Zoho training for free. Z Training is completely free. Also, by getting Z Training, you will immediately be enrolled so that I can give you valuable updates on Zoho. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.